This morning on The Dish, restaurateur Carl Sobocinski. Born and raised in New Hampshire, he first headed to the South to attend college at Clemson University. There he studied architecture, but soon realized his true passion was hospitality. In the mid-90s, he took a leap of faith and opened his first restaurant, the 858 in Greenville, South Carolina.
But he clearly had a Midas touch. That one venue launched his Table 301 restaurant group, now with 10 signature restaurants covering a wide range of cuisines, from Soby's New South to Passarelle French Bistro to Jianna's Modern Italian, and even a juice bar and a food truck. And Carl Sobocinski, good morning. Welcome to The Dish. Tell us about this great table.
Good morning. Thanks for having me. So we're going to enjoy some staples of the South. We start off with our crab cakes, which have some Creole cream corn from New Orleans, a little New Orleans touch. We'll come over to our shrimp and grits with our Port Royal Low Country shrimp and Anson Mills grits. Glenn Roberts gets all the credit for what he's done at Anson Mills and reviving some heirloom seeds and products back from the colonial and antebellum era. Fried green tomatoes. You can't go wrong with fried green tomatoes.
I love these.
And at the restaurant, we individually put a dollop of Southern staple pimento cheese in between, and then let a pimento cheese drizzle over the top. Great story about our cheddar garlic biscuits. Opening night of the restaurant, waiter came up and said, "We've got the butter cut. What do we do with it, and what are we going to serve the bread on?" And it was like, "Oops, we don't have bread for this restaurant." So quickly, chef went back into the restaurant, some flour, some shortening, cheddar garlic, and lo and behold, we have 20 years later still serving those.
And they're really good.
And we end up with our white chocolate banana cream pie. And of course, no meal's complete without a cocktail. So this is made with our Maker's Mark Private Select.
Oh, nice.
We went to Maker's Mark a couple of years ago and blended this special select for the restaurant.
Oh, that's delicious.
And I understand you may have a
We're very grateful is what we are.
We are.
visit coming up there. I would suggest while you're there, after a morning of tasting and blending, take lunch to soak it all in and then come back and finalize your recipe.
So Carl, explain to us, because you are a northeastern boy from New England. How did you end up in the South? And explain to us how you actually studied something very different than hospitality.
Sure. So I thought I wanted to be an architect. Went to Clemson University, studied architecture, and started waiting tables as a student, and just fell in love with this industry, fell in love with hospitality, food, taking care of people.
But you took a big risk, because you were 27 when you opened your first restaurant in what was a shoe store in downtown Greenville.
That's right. I think the planning and the architectural background helped me to visualize what could be, and trusting in the founding fathers of Greenville and seeing that there was a lot of emphasis on growing Greenville.
But people laughed at you.
They did. They laughed all the way up the street where we started our first restaurant.
Because now who's laughing?
Yeah, right. The foodie scene was pretty singular in South Carolina. I remember. So how did you figure out, I'm going to start a restaurant. I have a specific way I'm going to do it. And service is key.
Yeah, so hospitality's always been our number one. You can go get a great meal a lot of places, but if you put the food, the service, and the atmosphere and the ambiance together, and take care of people. And that taking care of people is something I learned from Danny Meyer and his enlightened hospitality philosophy. And we've tried to carry that on in our restaurants as well.
But you were also smart enough. I mean, you went out and you got farmers to bring stuff into the city. You created a farmer's market to help lure people downtown.
We did. That was one of the City Hall's directives. And so we went out and got farmers to come on board, and they started out. And then one of our greatest stories is one of our old cooks turned into a farmer and started doing heirloom tomatoes, and he is still very successful to this day.
That's really impacting the culture of the city. Tell us a little bit about your untraditional way of passing on your restaurants to your employees, because that I thought was incredible.
Well, thank you. I had a big birthday a year ago, and so it causes you to start to evaluate things. And I started looking at an exit strategy and a legacy. Yeah. And we've had some wonderful people work with us. And one of the things that I want to do is help develop the next series of entrepreneurs. And so these folks that work hard and want to own their own restaurants, we're giving them a chance to do that now.
That's really great.
If you could sign the dish and explain to us if there was anyone that you would like to have this meal with, who would it be?
Well, you mentioned New England earlier, and the GOAT, the six-time Super Bowl champion, Tom Brady. I would be honored to have dinner with him.
All righty then.
I'll join you.
Carl, thank you. And for more on Carl and the dish, head to our website at cbsthismorning.com.